everyone, me again. Today's one should be really fun. This is the full face of makeup I never reach for. I did not think I would have this much makeup that I don't normally reach for. I'm usually quite good at just throwing out things that I don't use or passing them on to friends and family, that kind of thing. But as I was rummaging for my drawers, finding products for this video, I actually found quite a few. And as we go through, I'm going to talk about why I don't reach for the product. A lot of them are actually okay, they're just maybe not as good as other things I own. But yeah, I'll talk through all of that as we go. I've like just washed my hair. It might dry during the course of this video, it might not. I'm going to start out with a setting spray that I don't usually reach for. This is one from Primark, it's called Hydrate. So I find that when I use this as a setting spray, it just kind of disrupts my makeup, breaks up everything that I've put down, and yeah, I just don't like the effect that it gives. So I thought today I might use this as a kind of priming spray. That smells really nice. I always start out with my eyebrows, and for this video I've got two options. So there's this one from Collection. This is a twist up brow pencil, and I don't use this because it's just not very good, if I'm honest with you. It's just not possible to get a subtle hair effect out of this. It just looks like you're drawing blocks on your face basically. But I think the one I'm going to use today is this one from Primark. So the product itself is actually okay. It's got a little spoolie on this end and then you twist it up at this end. I do really like a nice thin brow pencil, so I like everything about this product except the colour. It is far too warm for me. So you can kind of see what I mean, can't you? This is just looking very, very warm and very orange on me. So my eyebrows are looking pretty ridiculous at the moment, and I want to try and fix that. I thought I would take another Primark eyebrow product that I don't really reach for. This is their Instagirl Brows with Attitude powder. So you can see you've got the brow powder here and you've got this little highlighter cream here. I think I bought this with the intention of using this powder as a contour shade, but yeah, I just never really reach for it. This is quite ashy, so hopefully it will just kind of tone down the warm tone a little bit. You know, it's funny, when I was like getting all my products ready to film this video, I was like, oh, this isn't going to look that bad. I can do a decent face of makeup out of all of these. And now I'm sat here with like bright orange eyebrows and I'm thinking, maybe that was a little bit optimistic. And then to set my eyebrows in place, I've got the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. This product isn't terrible, it's just not my favourite brow gel. If I want a tinted brow gel, I'll usually go for the one from Essence. The brush is just that little bit smaller, making it much, much easier to use. And it's about half the price of this. Also, I find it does this quite a lot. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of dumping just too much product on my eyebrows, even though I kind of scrape it off a bit. I don't really own a massive amount of eyeshadow primers. I kind of just have my Maybelline colour tattoos and I use them the majority of the time. But I did find this one in my collection. This is from e.l.f. So yeah, this actually is something that I do use from time to time, but nowhere near as often as my Maybelline colour tattoo in Creme de Nude. Just going to dump some of this on the lid and blend it in very, very carefully so that it doesn't disturb my contact lenses. The coverage isn't that bad actually, but it could definitely be better. I think I'm going to go over the top of it with a little bit of concealer. I don't usually use concealer on my eyelids, so that also kind of plays into the theme of the video as well, I suppose. So the concealer I've got today, well, one of them is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Breathable Concealer. This is a bit of a weird one. I do really like the colour. Look at that, it's really nice, it's really pale, it's really bright. The thing that I don't get is that it's got this weird little sponge applicator thing for one, which I also don't like the fact that you have to kind of squeeze the product. Oh crap, yeah, you see this happens a lot with this concealer, like you just squeeze and squeeze and then it all sort of comes out in one blob. Try and spread that out a little bit. I'm gonna get my sponge and just hope that that absorbs some of the excess product. So I have quite a lot of eyeshadow palettes and most of them I really do love and I use on a regular basis, but there is one in my collection where I look at it and I can't really remember any time that I've been obsessed with this palette, and it's kind of a shame because it's actually a really, really beautiful palette. It's this one from Revolution. It's the Flawless 4 and it's got these really nice warm tone shades in here. I think part of the reason I don't reach for this is that in the last, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so, I've just got really into cool toned eyeshadow. But even before that point, I just wasn't reaching for this a lot, and I don't really know why, because it does look really pretty. But anyway, I'm going to put it on my eyes today. I'm going to use this kind of matte skin colour, well, my skin colour, just to set my eye primer and concealer. My eyelids look so dry right now. I mean, they are quite dry anyway at the moment because, you know, winter, but yeah, I don't think the concealer really helped. I'm going to start out with this pink shade right here, and I think I'm going to try and do kind of a sunset inspired eye look. So I'm just building this up, and I think I'm going to do a kind of halo eye because, again, that's not something I normally do. I want to use a few shades in here that I would never normally use, so I'm going to try, I think, this one. I really don't know how I feel about this so far. I'm going to go in with the neon coral red shade. Next I'm going to use this shimmery red purple colour over here. I pretty much never do a cut crease, so I'm going to do that today. I'm just using the same Rimmel concealer. There we go, it's just given me another giant blob. You just cannot control how much product comes out with this. Usually I would go for like this pink or this orange colour here. Today I'm going to use this gold one. That's not coming out on top of my concealer. There we go. So usually when I'm doing my makeup, if I can be bothered to wear eyeliner, which I sometimes can't, I will probably use the e.l.f. creamy eyeliner. Sometimes I use a felt tip pen as well, but one thing I realised when I was rummaging through my drawer is that I have really neglected eyeliner pencils. I guess I just prefer something a little bit more precise nowadays, which you can really get with a gel eyeliner. So there's the Collection eyebrow pencil that I was showing you earlier. This one, if I do use it, I use it as an eyeliner. There's this Rimmel pencil, which is grey. I just do not reach for it. And there's also this bright blue one from Primark. I think I bought this to use in a dupe video when I was doing my full face of my most expensive makeup, and I think that might be the only time I've actually used this. I think I'm going to use the Primark one today just because I've kind of got a sunset theme going on with my eyes, and I think the blue will complement that a lot more than the other options. Okay, I actually really like this blue eyeliner. Oh my god, I can't believe I don't use this more. I think it's really pretty. I'm going to finish this off with some mascara. I normally really love the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, and it's very difficult to persuade me to use anything else. So honestly, it was a surprise for me that I even had other mascaras in my drawer, but I do actually have some. I have the Kiko Volume and Definition Top Coat Mascara. It's a bit spiky. I always feel like it kind of pokes me in the eye when I use this. I also have the Mascara Revolution. I didn't buy this myself. I was actually given this when I went to their Halloween event last year. So usually I like something very defining with plastic bristles and preferably a kind of curved brush, whereas this is kind of the opposite of all of those things. So I'm going to use the Kiko one first. Yep, just as I remember, this is poking me in the eye. So I'm just going to add a bit of this one as well. There is so much goop on this mascara wand. This is actually really nice as a top coat mascara. So it's time to move on to the base now. I don't really have a primer that I don't reach for in my collection. I do tend to use up my primers quite a lot, but instead I will just spray a bit more of that Primark Hydrate Spray on my face. And then I'm going to go in with colour corrector. This is the Revolution colour corrector palette. I think they've changed the packaging for this now, but the concept is pretty much the same. I think I did try this at some point and I don't think I was very impressed by it, but I'm going to give it another go for this video. So let's try this colour right here and just put that underneath the eyes. It's not bad, I guess. This seems to be doing a pretty reasonable job so far. I'm going to use this green shade as well. So far this is performing in the same way as my NYX colour corrector palette. The formula is a little bit different. It's maybe a little bit drier, but the actual effect is exactly the same. I have quite a few foundations that I could use for this video. I buy a lot more than the average person, just out of sheer curiosity, but also because I like reviewing them on this channel as well. So the ones I found in my drawer that I haven't really used for a while are the Primark My Perfect Colour Foundation. I actually really like this. I really like the formula. I think the reason why I don't reach for it more is partly because of the smell. I also have the AOA Perfect Perfect BB cream. I used this once and I really didn't like this, and I've never used it again since. I also have the Primark My Perfect Colour Cushion Foundation as well. This says it's a light to medium buildable coverage with a luminous finish, which is completely wrong. I actually find this quite matte. First I'm going to take the BB cream and just kind of stamp it on. This product is so sticky. Let's try a sponge, because my brush just absorbed like most of the product there. This is looking a lot better than I expected. I am using quite a lot of this though. Whether I use my sponge or my brush, whatever I'm using just seems to absorb a lot of product. Also, it is a little bit dark for me, and the undertone of it is very warm, whereas my skin tone is a bit more neutral. So I'm going to try going over it with some of the cushion foundation, which is very pale. I'm going to use my sponge instead of the cushion because I remember really not liking the little cushion that comes with it. I feel like now that those two products are mixed together, the shade is a bit better. It's kind of the right shade, but the undertone is still very yellow. There's not really much I can do about that. In terms of coverage, I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do, but I still have quite a bit of redness showing. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, so I'm going to put some concealer on, the same Rimmel one that I was using before. Long story short, I now have quite a cakey face of makeup on. I also look a lot paler than I was expecting. I have a different concealer to cover my blemishes. This is the NYX Gotcha Cover Concealer. This is in the shade Alabaster. I'm not quite sure why I don't use this because the coverage is very good. I think it's more that it's just quite pale. The coverage is amazing though. Like, if you have acne, then you should probably give this a try because it's quite cheap. So my base is done now and I look very yellow. All of those products have a bit of a yellow undertone to them. I look a bit like a Simpson. I'm going to sculpt out my face using the L'Oreal Infallible Sculpt. I have been trying to use it more, and I did use this last time I sat down to film a tutorial, which I think for you guys is going to go up next week. But I think overall I don't really use it enough. I think I generally prefer a powder contour just because I build up my foundation quite a lot to cover my skin redness, as you'll have seen. And I feel like cream contour, if you wear more than like 2 layers of foundation, cream contour can really kind of move the foundation around and it just disrupts all the work that you've done. I can kind of see it happening now actually as I'm describing it. But when I'm not wearing as much coverage, this actually is okay. That's too much product. This actually is an okay product and I do like it. Yeah, the finish of this is actually really nice. And I definitely should use this more than I actually do. So I have 2 liquid highlighters. I also have a powder highlighter as well, which I might use as well. But I did want to feature these liquid highlighters in the video because I never reach for them. One of them I bought myself and one of them my friend gave me. So this is the one my friend gave me. My friend Natasha was reviewing these on her channel and she had the entire set. She had all the colours, but this was the one that she could not get to work. So this is, what colour is this? Moon Potion. It's kind of a bright silver but with a very strong blue duochrome, and when you blend it out you can see it just looks more and more blue. I also have another liquid highlighter that I don't use. This one I bought myself. This is the Revolution liquid highlighter and this is in the shade Liquid Starlight. Now it's an absolutely beautiful product and I'll just kind of dunk some of it here so you can see it. It's so beautiful, you guys. It is absolutely stunning. And I saw the swatches of this online and I was like, oh my god, gimme. But I think for me, it is maybe a little bit too intense. It does definitely have some glitter particles in there. Do you know what? I'm gonna wear the Barry M one. Natasha really wanted to see me use this in a video, so do you know what? I'm doing this for you, hun. Oh my god. Okay, right now it kind of looks like a bruise, so I'm just trying to desperately blend it in using my sponge. Please merge with the foundation, please merge with the foundation. Now that I've toned it down a bit, it doesn't actually look that bad. If any of you wear kind of blue, violet, duochrome sort of highlighters, please let me know in the comments how you wear it, how you make it work, because you're obviously a lot more skilled than I am. So most of my setting powders I actually quite like and I do tend to use up. I did manage to find one that I just don't really reach for a lot, and it's this one from Primark. It's the My Perfect Colour Mineral Powder, and I think I don't reach for this because, I mean, partly you can't really close it. That just makes it a bit more difficult to travel with. Another thing is that I just generally prefer the Gosh Mineral Foundation. It has a bit more coverage to it, but I'm going to use it today. The next product that I definitely don't reach for as much as I should is this one from Kiko. So this is a bronzer and a blusher in one. This was actually a limited edition product, so you can't get this anymore. This is one of those products that I do sometimes get a little bit nervous about. I mean, this blush, this is very, very intense. Like, look at that. Like, you have to be very, very careful with this. So I think I'm just going to go in with that bronzer first, and then maybe I will mix just a bit of that blush. I do actually really like this bronzer. The tone of it is really pretty. I definitely want to try and use this more. And then I think to use the blush, I'm just going to dab twice in the bronzer and then a little dab in the blush and then another dab in the bronzer. It's still quite bright, especially because I've still got some skin redness showing as well. Okay, combined with this eyeshadow, I am starting to look a little bit insane. When I'm doing my own makeup on an everyday basis, I don't normally do the lower part of my eyes at all. I am going to do it today though, just to embrace the whole theme of this video. So I'm going to take this neon pink right here. I've definitely used too much product, by the way. Yeah, this is a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to take these two shades here and put them on my inner corner. Ooh, these are pretty. And before I forget, I'm going to put some of the Kiko mascara on my lower lashes as well. And then the powder highlighter that I never use, which I think I'm going to put on top of the liquid highlighter, is this one from Revolution. This is their Vivid Baked highlighter in the shade Everglow Light. They have another one in this range called Radiant Lights, which is pink. I really love that one. I swear that is a completely different texture and finish to this one, but I am going to apply some today. It is very, very powdery. Like, I don't know if you can see how much product comes off my brush when I do that. On its own, it doesn't really do that much, but I think over the top of this Barry M highlighter, the two together work quite well actually. And it keeps like a little bit of that blue duochrome effect, but it does tone it down. There's just one thing left to do for this tutorial, and that is apply something on the lips. I pretty much never use liquid lipsticks. My lips are quite dry, so I don't really like the kind of drying effect that they have. I also don't really wear red lipstick very often, so I think I'm going to reach for this one by Revolution because this has a red tone to it. This is the shade Regal. This is too warm tone for me. My teeth are a little bit yellow because I'm British and I'm a British stereotype and I drink tea all day, every day. Doing something like this just doesn't really do me any favours, but I might mix it with a little bit of this one from AOA. I'm just using my Profusion lip liner, which is something that I do actually reach for sometimes. Oh, the shade is Secret Nude, by the way. I got this in a lip kit. So I'm going to take a bit of Regal and I'm going to mix it with a dab of the AOA Wonder Matte in the shade Hype. And I'm also going to mix in this shade that I don't reach for. So this is the shade 20 of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. Okay, now I look insane. The lip colour actually looks pretty nice. I just think with the rest of this look, with the colourful eyes and the colourful cheeks, it's just, oh god. So this is my full face of makeup I never use. I kind of look a bit like a flamingo. I really hope, if anything, that you guys have enjoyed watching this, and I also really hope that you don't take it seriously. But yeah, that's everything from me today. Thank you so much for watching and for sticking around until the end. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps out my channel, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys next Sunday at 9 AM. Bye!